Keep that applause going for Zeke. One more time, yeah.
All right. So when I was in college, I was part of a revolution against the worst, most tyrannical institution that has ever existed, collegiate a cappella. Okay? So I attended Williams College, which is a very small liberal arts school in Massachusetts, and it was great, but a cappella was inescapable. It was everywhere, and it wasn't just the activity that like the theater nerds or the like music people did. It was something that cool people, like legit cool people, like the track captain and the student body president also did, which sounds cool in theory, but the truth is that they were like super insular, extremely elitist, and like they excluded everyone else. And so like you couldn't go to a cappella parties if you weren't part of a cappella. And me and my friends were like, this is bullshit, this sucks. And so all of freshman year we just judged a cappella, and when we came back to school sophomore year, we decided to do something about it. So every year, the fall kicks off with the a cappella groups doing what is called Entry Sings, and it's their first big performance to the freshmen. And the freshmen at Williams live in housing units called entries, and so the a cappella groups go to their common rooms and they perform. And so we decided that we were going to crash Entry Sings by pretending to be a fake a cappella group that was horrific at singing. So the best group on campus was a very stuffy, all-male group called the Spring Streeters, and they were named after Spring Street, which is like the main road in Williamstown. It's like super idyllic. There's an ice cream store, a couple of like vaguely ethnic food restaurants, and yeah, so they're the Spring Streeters. We decided that we would be the Water Streeters, which is the next street over that has an abandoned industrial complex. Very fitting. And so, yeah, that night it was like we took a couple of shots of Jose Cuervo and we busted into these freshman dorms to do this performance. And it went a little something like this. We were like, hey, what's up? We're the Water Streeters. He wears short shorts, I wear sneakers. She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers. And then we would run out screaming and laughing. And it was like the best. We were on top of the world. We were like, fuck you, a cappella, we're here, boom. And so the next day, people started coming up to us and were like, guys, that was so great. When are you holding auditions? And we were like, no, it was a joke. And then we were like, that's an amazing idea. And so we put a sign-up sheet in the student center that said, audition for the Water Streeters. We're not your daddy's a cappella group. And so a few weeks later, we held out auditions, and in like direct opposition to the exclusionary audition practices, we decided that anybody that showed up was going to immediately be let in. And nobody had to sing, but they did have to answer interview questions, bob for apples, and brush their teeth to the beat of a song while we watched with no pants on, which is now creepy but seemed funny at the time. And so at the end of it, we had 4 people that auditioned and 4 people were let in, and it was amazing. And so we inducted them with what became our signature chant of like, water what? Water street. Water what? Water street. And it was jubilant, and our ranks were full, and we were ready for guerrilla warfare. We had to start performing. So, normal a cappella concerts happen like twice a semester, always in the music center. And so ours, of course, were going to happen whenever, and always in costume. And so we went down to the college like costume shop called Where'd You Get That? And we bought mariachi costumes complete with sombreros and fake mustaches. And that night went into the dining hall and gave an impromptu performance of the Vanga Boys' Boom Boom Boom. And let me hear you say way-o, way-o. Yeah, you guys get it. And so the students were like, what the fuck is this? And then on the way out, we sang, again, dressed as mariachis, La Cucaracha, while our friend Tom played the trumpet. And it's like a little racially insensitive, like looking back on it now, but sort of like in the fun way, like assuming a black person has good rhythm, because we do, you know? And so that was it. We were like full on. We did a couple more of these performances, and like word was spreading, and we were a legitimate institution. But there was one final hurdle that we had to get over in order to give the people a voice, an off-key voice. And that was Mountain Day. So Mountain Day is a time-honored Williams tradition where one day in the fall, you wake up and the bells are ringing and the entire school, classes are canceled, the entire school hikes up a mountain and goes and eats apple cider donuts and listens to a cappella. It's like the Super Bowl of a cappella. And so we were like, of course we gotta perform. So we like woke up, we put our lumberjack outfits on with short shorts, and we were like, let's do this, boom. And so I only remember one song from like the actual people that performed that day, and that was the Spring Streeters, and they sang a very, very good rendition of Wade in the Water, which is like a bunch of white dudes singing a slave hymnal is like the most liberal arts school thing ever. And I was like, of course. And so we weren't gonna ruin their performance, but we were like, once they're done, we're gonna get up there and do a performance. And so the last group goes, and before we know it, something amazing happened, which was the student body just starts to chant, water what? Water street. Water what? Water street. Water what? Water street. It was unbelievable. It was like these were the proletariat chanting, Viva la Revolution! This was our fucking Bastille Day! And we were ready. And so we got up and did a pretty bad version of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. And they loved it. They absolutely loved it. And we showed the people of Williams College that there was another way, and a cappella was not all-encompassing. Water what? Water street.